101.5, Jason Bailey. There's Southside Steve, a very sick Brandy. And our Digi dude, Nate. Just go through the resume of Ryan Dungey here. Supercross tomorrow at the Dome. Both Steve and I will be out there early, so if you're planning on doing it up, get there about 4:30, get in the pits and stuff, but you and I will be out there early. I don't know exactly what we're doing, but whatever it is, it's going to be fun.
I know what we're doing. We're going to Dungey's trailer, and we're doing shots.
Yeah, because that's what you do, Ryan, before you go out on your motorcycle.
Ryan's like,
yeah, that might not go so well for me.
So last year, you won the SP Best Male Action Sports Athlete. That's cool. 71 AMA Supercross titles. That's 5th of all time. Right now, you're standing as first place in the Supercross, right? The last 5 or 6 events, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you only came in second on 2 of those runs.
Yep.
So you're crushing. I mean, what are you doing? Popping the tires of the guys that you're going up against, or what? Are you just that damn good?
Just trying to be on it. It's competitive, and if we can get off to some good starts and keep the racing action good, and get up front and try to get some wins. It's important consistently be up there.
As a rider, I know the pressure you're under.
Oh, Jesus, man. As a rider of what, Marta?
I have all my gear and everything, and you know what's the toughest thing for me as a rider? I finally bought really good motorcycle boots.
Because you can't fit in it anymore.
I can't get my toe in between. I had to lift up my shifter versus the peg.
Yeah, when they're brand new, it's a little stiffer, a little harder to.
So that happens.
Well, yeah, I mean it comes with stiffer boots, but also a little bit of strength in the ankle.
Steve, you're talking to him like
gotta train you.
I'm just talking with Dungey on the basics. I figure we cover the basics and work our way up.
Yeah, but you're talking to Ryan Dungey like just last year you retired from Supercross.
Oh no, Dungey. No, I just ride around in the woods and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But hey, I've caught some air.
I thought your wife said you weren't allowed to anymore.
Yeah, my wife's shutting it down. But that's a whole other story.
Do you still even own the motorcycle?
Yeah, I do. I've got a Suzuki 2007 250. What's up?
Oh, well, I need to get you on
What's up?
But you drive the 450, and you are an absolute aerobatic badass. And we were talking about Supercross because we are going to be out there. What you've done and the way that you ride is brilliant. You don't go all out like some people, and I know Stewart is one of those guys that gives you a little bit of trouble.
Well, it's you got to learn how to go about it. That was the biggest thing for me in my career. I was good. I had the endurance. I had all the right tools. But the thing that I was always lacking, it was the beginning of the race. And it wasn't like it wasn't anything but intensity. And obviously, we paired up with Eldon Baker, and he really helped me out with the training aspect of things. And that was big for me coming into last year because it was so much, how I was training that was kind of affecting my riding on Saturday night, So once we switched that around and bring the intensity, and we were practicing like we were racing now, and so that was really beneficial.
So how does this start? Explain to people. You're what, in your mid-20s, right? 26, 27?
26.
You're 26 years old. Okay, you're worth, I read, about $8 million.
Easy.
Okay, so that's what the Google says. Okay, and I hear you and Steve arguing about how you can't afford an iPhone.
Well, you know what? He's a smart man with his money. He's like you. He's frugal.
Yeah.
Or Jason's cheap.
I'd go out and buy it, but my wife Lindsay's like, no, you ain't doing that. Like she's the one who keeps.
Is $8 million not correct?
Well, we're not talking about that.
Is it? Just tell me, is it low or high? Okay, so you're worth a lot.
Let's just say that he can balance. He's got a checkbook that's got money in it.
But how does this start? As a kid, I'm guessing your dad or an uncle or a family member put you on a motorcycle, and then you just happen to have this God-given ability for balance, hand-eye coordination. And then at what age do you then get sponsors? I see them all over your chest right now. You get sponsors, and then you become what you are today, which now you're winning ESPYs. That's fantastic.
No, I've been very fortunate and blessed. I think as a kid, my dad did it growing up and got me and my brothers into it. And I mean, I didn't dream that we would, I saw it on TV, and I hoped one day that would be me and be in that position to be able to race for a living. And it's been amazing. I think turning pro was a dream come true. And then it was about, all right, how do you take it from here? But it's kind of interesting, as you grow and you get older. And, when I was younger, it was all about results. It was about how am I going to win races? How am I going to, perform, win championships? And that's the pressures that come with, it's now you got to keep the fun, but now you're being paid to go do your job, right?
By the way, if I were worth $8 million, I'd brag about it. I know you're very humble and that's cool and all, but dude, I don't know about you, Steve, but if I had $8 million in the bank, I would start off every segment on this show with "I'm worth $8 million."
Oh, I would actually wear a shirt that said $8 million on it.
Not to brag, just to be proud of it.
Just to be proud, and I'd be like, "Kiss it."
Yeah,
on the back of my jeans would say "Kiss it."
I got $8 million and you don't. Okay, but that might not be your style, Ryan.
I can tell you by being around you, man. You know, and it was actually a big deal for me to meet you. I've seen you race. I know you've been world champion twice, but you do come across like one of the nicest guys. I even feel bad about making the joke about taking shots. I don't even think you drink.
No, we don't actually.
You don't?
Oh, well, I mean, we all have to have our fun in the off season and stuff like that.
You drink Red Bull though, don't you?
Yeah,
you drink the hell out of that, don't you?
You better. It's on your chest.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite beverages to go for. So it's good. And no, but in season we got to keep it tight, obviously, which is good. You know, it's week to week.
Remember the argument we had? It wasn't an argument. It was a conversation where we talked about who was in shape the most, and I said Supercross riders.
And I disagree. Well, wait a minute. There was a list.
There was a list.
Who was the guy that we had on last year? Does anybody remember the guy? It wasn't Ryan.
We were talking about who's the most in shape, and when it comes to athletes, you know, soccer players, rugby players, and
tennis
football,
players,
tennis. Yeah. And I said Supercross riders.
And I disagreed. I said MMA guys. No offense.
No.
Well, the thing about every discipline of the sports, it's very physically fit. You look at basketball players, and those guys are running up and down the court. They're sprinting back and forth, and whether they get a break or not, you know, it's like hockey players. You know, it's not whether they're fit. It's just, you know, like a hockey player. You know, the way they're built, the way they train, how physically fit they are. And it's a different way. You know, if they hop on a dirt bike, they'd probably feel out of shape because their muscles aren't trained in that specific category. So, yeah, if I went to go, try to play hockey, let's say, or whatever sport it is, you know, I'd probably feel out of shape because
you're not working out to get on to do what you do. You train, but there's a difference between training on a motorcycle and being in Supercross shape. Versus, and you use different muscles on your body when you're going side to side.
Core.
Well, and there's cross training too. I mean, every sport they have cross. Like for us, you know, we obviously have the dirt bike, and there's nothing like riding a dirt bike. So yeah, that's you got to do that for sure, hands down. But then we do a lot of cycling, we do a lot of running, we're in the gym, so it's like we're putting in hours even off the dirt bike trying to prepare for.
What the hell are you in the gym for?
Getting stronger. You need to manhandle that 450.
Dude, he's got a big bike. 450. I mean, you don't really ride motorcycles, right?
Oh yeah, I was 1989 Junior Olympic Supercross champion.
Okay, that tells me no. So, but I will tell you, people don't realize that
born in '89
that you're out of control.
Yeah, that's why you don't remember it. That's it. You remember they called me Evil Bailey?
Yep,
Evil.
But riding a motorcycle, you let the power band kick in. You haven't lit. I mean, we know what that kind of power is like, and it will launch you. And you've got to be able to master it. But you're out of control pretty much most of the time. But there's a rhythm to hitting these bumps. But you're just full on. And how many laps in the races that you guys do?
Well, in the main event, it's 20 laps, so about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. A minute. And Jason, I got to tell you, man, I've ridden. You know, we've got a couple of tracks. After about 3 or 4 laps, I'm like, I got to stop.
Yeah,
I got to rest. I'm dying. Yeah. Especially, does anybody have a beer gut that races?
That's what I haven't seen any bellies up
There's
there.
no bellies because.
You know, you look at some.
I saw you stare at my belly a second ago.
You look at some athletes, and when they get to a point like the pinnacle of their career, I mean, not that you're at your pinnacle, but you're at the top of the game. You know, you think Supercross. My buddy Scott came in today because he's a big fan.
Ryan Dungey.
You know, you think Ryan Dungey. You know, but there, as you get older and you collect more money and more titles, and it becomes maybe a little monotonous, and you're like, I've already accomplished this. What else am I going to do? Kind of like where I think Ronda Rousey is in her career. It's like there are other opportunities for you. That's when the beer gut starts to set in.
Yeah.
You know, you start to get a little bit lazy and your metabolism stops. You're around 32. You know, Ryan Dungey's just a shell of the man he once was when he was on with Bailey and Southside.
Yeah. Well, when you retire, obviously you can probably let it go a little bit, but that's the thing you got to be careful about, you know, as time goes, and there is more opportunities, there is more things going on, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a distraction, but a necessary distraction. You know, obviously with sports, there's commitments, there's PR, there's you know, like this weekend, a lot of boys from the four-wheel side in Atlanta Speedway are coming over, and so you know, it takes up your time, your energy. So it's a distraction, but at the same time, you just got to control it. And
does your wife? Who is your wife in the business, or is this just?
No, I met my wife actually in small town Belle Plaine, and she had didn't know a thing about two wheels. So
okay. Did she know who you were?
No.
Oh, that's even better, right?
And that was kind of the thing. I was only 17, not like I had a name or anything, but I
always been with the same girl. What a great story.
I didn't want to I didn't want her to like me for other reasons. It was kind of nice. I didn't want to find a girl in the industry.
Oh my God, dude.
It was perfect. So.
He makes me sick. He's so perfect.
He is.
This guy is like a. This is like a. I'm trying to find something wrong with him, but there's no. I mean, he's famous. He's good looking. He's rich. He's got a fantastic love story. Stop it.
I want to hug you. I want to glean the cube. I want some of that on me.
Glean the cube.
I want to glean the cube.
Would you hang out with us for another segment?
Absolutely.
Please.
Yep.
I just want to be around you.
I'm on your clock.
This is perfection at its finest right here.
Yeah, I want to hear you do your Australian accent since you ride a KTM later. I know you got one.
I can't say that. No.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
It's an Australian motorcycle. He goes, hello, mate.
We are going to do Bet You Can again. Sit in on this with us. This is a segment we do on Fridays where our listeners go to our website, BaileyandSouthside.com, and bet either our intern Brent or our producer Nate to do something. This week, the bet was if Brent could go into a tanning salon and then for 2 minutes talk to a complete stranger. So if he does, we give him money. So if you'd like to sit in on that, if not, you can leave us. I'd understand.
It's creepy.
I'd like to see this.
All right, cool.
Well, you're going to more or less listen to it, but we'll do that next, and we'll have Ryan Dungey around tomorrow night. Man, I'm telling you, it's at the Dome, Supercross. You can still get tickets, Ticketmaster.com. I'm sure during the walk-up you can do it. Steve and I will be out there early, starting at 4:30. It's a fantastic time, man. It's really, and you get to see these amazing athletes at their finest right here. And we got the best in the world in the studio right now. Ryan Dungey, this is great. It's Bailey and Southside Rock 100.5.